I'm so stoked. I finally got my fossils out. Aren't they gorgeous? They get to be in the sunlight when it comes out. But yay! Did that yesterday. Super stoked. Hello, hello. Infiniti here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it happens to be that you're here with me. Whether it's today, January 19th, 2025 at 10:55 almost, right about that. We have it's the crazy fog started at like midnight last night, and it's been overcast all day. It was super dense, but there's some blue skies. Oh, so pretty. So we'll see about when this burns off. For now, we'll focus here on this beautiful river. And it's been looking so bluish, tealish green. I absolutely love it. Corey was telling me yesterday that it gets really, really blue and green, which I can't wait to see. Hi, beautiful dogs. My beautiful dogs coming in. Corey's been outside for a while. Okay, perfect timing. So here we are, another Sunday. This will be our second Sunday where I am going to be doing what I'm calling the Astro-Energy forecast. I'm going through the weekly forecasts in the Elowin's 2025 Daily Planetary Guide book. And let's get right to it. This one's a little strange, but let's go for it. And we'll see what else comes through. And then we're going to get an oracle card from the Starseed Oracle. Okay. So week of January 20th through the 26th. Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a holiday in the United States, which is just as well as its energies are not particularly conducive to intellectual labor, problem solving, or concentration. The day ends with rather exhaustive vibes, so it may be best to turn in early and not plan any evening outings. The rest of the week, however, is an auspicious time for personal empowerment. So Tuesday through Sunday is a great week for personal empowerment, and I'm feeling spiritual practices and spiritual connections and spirituality generally. Don't be afraid to take the reins of your life so you can lead it where you truly want to go. This is not a time for meticulous planning and sweating over the tiniest details, but instead follow your gut instincts and pounce on any possibilities that arise. Thursday is an especially opportune time to go for your goals. Weekend outlook. You may want to avoid daytime dating on Saturday, as it may be difficult to let loose and achieve emotional warmth. The evening, however, is another matter. Brimming with passion and courtly love, it is a perfect time to coo with your sweetie. The romantic vibes continue on Sunday, promising a dreamy, happy ending for all. If you are single, technology could help you stumble across the one, so start swiping. Tips for a 5-star week. Even though Mars is still retrograde, this is an excellent week to forge ahead. Sorry, my dog. Hey guys. Hi. They just, yeah, move over there. Sorry. Even though Mars is still retrograde, this is an excellent week to forge ahead towards the future of your dreams. Send out your resume, make pitches, or ask for a promotion. While you may not get an immediate response, seeds you plant now will bloom when Mars turns direct next month. Okay. Thursday is an especially opportune time to go for your goals. It really wants things to move forward here with these energies. The thing with this forecast that I realized is that they don't really say why. Like, they don't get into the reasons why they're saying the things that they're saying, as far as like, I mean, they do a little bit with Mars, but not much else, which I find interesting, which I think would be good. So I may switch to a different thing for the forecast, but for now, we'll keep it where it is. It's just something that I noticed. I'm like, okay, well, why? You know, it'd be nice if it was like Saturn and this and that, or Venus and this and that, or, you know, whatever. Anyway, not only is Monday Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and that is a holiday in the United States. Does that mean banks are closed on Martin Luther King Jr. Day? I mean, seriously? If that's the case, that is so lame. Sorry, I just, anyway, let's see here. It is, sorry, I got so distracted in my head with this whole holiday thing. And my dogs, not gonna lie. She was outside for a long time and he was in, and then he went out, and then they both came in, and this has been the way it's been. So this Monday, tomorrow, is also Inauguration Day, the 20th of January. It's funny that they don't mention that in this. I find that odd as well. But it is Inauguration Day. I don't know if that's part of the energies that, like, I was up all night. My body was not comfortable, and I just was feeling just up and down. Plus, I got really bothered by something that happened last night, not too soon before bed. And it was like on my mind. And then, anyway, I just did not get sleep at all last night, or this morning for that matter. Maybe right when I maybe could have, one of the alarms in the house, and I forgot that there's all these carbon monoxide alarms in here, but the only thing I could remember was the fire alarm that's way up high that I would have to get a ladder for, and I was just like, are you kidding me? And it went off every 45 seconds. Beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what is that? It's obviously not an alarm, because an alarm sounds like an alarm. That's some type of notification of something, usually batteries. I'm like, really? 8 a.m. on a button. That has to start going on. When I'm like, maybe I can fall asleep now. So it was just like, and then I finally got up. It was really bothering Chacho, and finally like the beeping every 45 seconds for like 20 minutes, however long I laid there dealing with it, hoping it would stop itself, but it never did. And came out here and found that it was a carbon monoxide thing. And by that point it was like, fuck it, I'm awake. It's 9 a.m. I'm getting up. And just have felt really strange all day. And I was reminded that usually when my physical body is, and even if there is something like on my mind, but when my physical body is just will not settle, will not get comfortable, and I've got all this energy surging, and I'm like kind of itchy, and I'm feeling all these tingles and pricks and all this stuff going on. There's spicy energy. Kate, please stop. There's spicy energy in the air, like something is about to happen. And I'm not sure exactly if this is just a lot of irritated, frustrated energy because a lot of people don't like Trump, or if it's more serious than that. If it is associated with Trump. I'm not exactly sure. So it's like during the night I wasn't thinking about this at all. Like there's, I wasn't thinking about the inauguration or Trump or I was just like, I don't even know what I was thinking about. Really, it was interesting. It was a weird night. And yeah, it wasn't until this morning when I'm reminded that I usually have those kinds of nights, and either during the night on the other side of the world or the next day, there's usually some shakeup, or within like a day or two, if that continues. So I don't know what that exactly. I'm supposed to be initiating more prophetic psychic visions and awareness and information as I move forward. Not that I asked for that. It just came through that was happening a few months ago. And it's a step-by-step process. I have for a long time had, just restlessness, not really having any like a vision of what that might be attached to. So, ooh, look, more blue. That looks really cool. Let's come over here more. Okay, so I don't know exactly, what that means, but I was reminded of that. And, and I know that it's also associated with this whole other situation that really got me bothered last night. And it's, I think that it's multi-layered, quite frankly. So anyway, but I'm just guided to put that out there. So what it's basically saying is Monday is not a great day to, try to figure stuff out, do problem solving, or try to concentrate too hard. I would focus on just maybe self-care, going out in nature, taking a bath, things like that. It's saying that Monday ends with exhaustive vibes. So it may be best to turn in early and not plan any evening outings for Monday. So Monday's not a day to really do much or be busy, is what we're hearing here. And And I'm definitely feeling, like I said, I started, you know, this whole thing with me not being able to sleep last night, and just the restlessness energy that I was feeling, that, and just all the random things that were coming through was just really, yeah. And so I feel like there's this kind of like need to need to rest over these next couple days, I guess, is the bottom line, and not plan too much, not do too much. It says intellectual labor, but I'm thinking like really keep it simple through Monday. Then we get into a totally different vibe come Tuesday, and really start to get inspired and motivated to make some changes, make some plans, get some things going, make some shifts in how you're kind of focusing or trying to train yourself to do different things or think differently or whatever. And that goes through the end of the week, but specifically Thursday, it says Thursday is an especially opportune time to go for your goals. That's kind of ambiguous. Sort of, what does that mean exactly? What I'm getting about this is that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially, like, it goes in this whole romantic thing over the weekend, but, you know, for people that are not in that, oh, look at boat. For people that are not in that kind of realm of, okay, dogs went a little crazy. I paused the video. Stop with the barking. Stop. You need to learn to stop when I say stop. I know. They're very protective, and that was very loud. I'm not sure if the video picked up on it, but it was really loud when it came around this corner here. Which is literally like right below us. Okay, so for those of us who aren't in any kind of romantic thing or dating or whatever, what I'm getting is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, instead of this romantic energy being, you know, sent outward, you know, to somebody else, it can go inward. And this would be a great time to really make some new considerations about what you're going to do moving forward to get more healthy and more aligned and more attuned and in tune with yourself, your body, kind of peeling back the layers, dissolving what's been and moving into the future means to get healthy, means to dump a lot of energy and integrate a lot of new energy. And that's what is definitely, you know, coming through for this year. And the sooner that we get on that, the better. And like I've said before, I have a whole bunch of new stuff coming through to offer that is really exciting. And I hope to start getting to rolling that out this coming week for ASAP. It's kind of a lot, and there's different components, and I definitely have been processing through this for the last several days, weeks, and months, believe it or not. Those in my inner circle, I've been talking about, like, oh, there's this stuff, there's this new stuff, there's this stuff I want to tell you all about. And it's like it's literally been like that since October. It's wild. And it's just really, like, I really want to bring it out. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna leave it there for that, and we'll move on to the Oracle. And I put my dogs in the bedroom because Cora was being really annoying. She wants to go outside. Okay. Wow. So we got actually a couple of cards together. Is this one? Okay, yeah, they go together. All right, 2 cards. This first one. So they came up as the cards flipped in my hand as I was shuffling. The Great Serving. Oh, sorry, the Great Severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Yep, kind of feeling that energy for sure. Like I said, I got really bothered last night. A real shift in energy happened and I got super bothered last night. And I felt like it was mirroring something bigger, but yeah, I'm feeling that more and more. And then the next one though is this one. New Earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. So these 2 cards coming through together is perfect because it's like we're gonna be shook. There's some shaking up going on. There's some irritation. There's anger. This Mars energy. Mars is in retrograde. We're definitely feeling that energy. But then we're reminded, but this is how we get to the new Earth. This is not necessarily bad. It is the process. So there's usually a bothering. This is called the Great Severing. But there's usually some kind of bothering, some type of catalyst that happens to shake things up, to get people's attention. And after that, though, that's when like the truth comes out. Like the truth is, the truth can be very complicated, right? Because while we essentially want the truth, once we're faced with it at whatever level and however many times and however many facets or looks we get at the truth of a person, a situation, a system, a story, whatever, we will know that there's elements that are not quite right at the very least. There's flat out lies, or there's an illusion. There's a sense of this isn't on, the level kind of thing. And that's a very irritating and dysfunctional feeling, especially if you don't know exactly what it is. Maybe you never will, maybe you will, or maybe finally things come to light. And then there's great anger. There could be anger on a level all the way through, but then there's maybe a pop in the field, a pop in the illusion, and everything comes to light. And of course, again, this is a good thing, but at the same time, it's a very distorted and chaotic feeling, because the way things have shifted in your perception, and that can be we can be very emotionally triggered when that happens, and especially when it happens suddenly. So or if it feels sudden. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna read this. It moved. I had the page and it moved. Here we go. The Great Severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. This is a shadow card, one that may feel confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. That is true. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. It can feel like a never-ending dance we can never escape. If we aren't careful, before long, we'll see the world as a scary, dangerous place where fear and anxiety roam free. If this card surfaces, it could be for two reasons. Firstly, for you to acknowledge the difficult emotions, situations, conflicts, wounds, and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world. When we're hurt, it's normal to close our heart off to the world. To let the painful experience confirm the agony of separation in earthly life. Soften and find your way back to love anyway. When fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to want to hide away from others and the world. Come out of your cave and soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children spinning our way around the world. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you cutting yourself off from love? How can you soften towards those who have hurt you? Okay, so basically what I'm hearing here, it's like, listen, this is an opportunity. When we're wounded, it's an opportunity to heal. That's the triggering. That's what I said. The truth will cause a triggering of emotions, and that means we need to heal from what wasn't right, what wasn't true. What we, what the pain of that sometimes, and that could be about a person, like I said, a situation, whatever that it's about. But there's conflict there, there's irritation there, there's things going on that are not comfortable. That would be like where you would know there's wounding and there needs to be healing. And for there to be real healing, there needs to be love. Love for yourself, so you're not hurting yourself by perpetuating this fearful, painful anger energy, this dissonance, conflicted energy. Like, you have to see this for what it is. Whatever is going on that takes you off balance, that takes you from a place of peace to conflict, to anger, to pain, then that is an opportunity to fix what's broken, to heal what's wounded. And we are entering a time, and with also I'm hearing the new moon coming up. It's not for a while. It's not this week. But we're getting closer to it, that there's a whole other energy that's really pulling us to kind of want to end our suffering, is what I'm hearing, end the cycles and move in a different direction. And when we can give ourselves the permission to feel all that and then tell ourselves, okay, so now how are we going to move on from this and not be in this low vibe for, as long as we possibly can? What do we need to do to shift our perspective? How do we need to process? How do we need to express? How do we need to self-care? How do we need to tap in to our spiritual side and remind ourselves that there's a whole turning over of timelines and energies and paradigms, and we are definitely part of that. And there is a spiritual war, and there is the dark side that wants to keep those of us who are meant to awaken and affect change upon Gaia repressed, oppressed, controlled, and manipulated, in pain, in conflict with ourselves and each other. So we need to see things from a higher perspective and not take the bait more than we absolutely like we're gonna be affected. It's impossible to not get bothered. And we talked about this in one of our groups. I'm pretty sure it was our Awakening Shaman Circle, possibly. But anyway, it was like one of the group members is like, yeah, but isn't it the way we're supposed to be is not to get bothered, not to be frustrated, not to, go into that lower state of being, that kind of thing. And it's like, well, but that's just not realistic. It's not realistic to be like, oh, I am a conscious person. I'm connected to my soul, so much, or my spirit guides or whatever, to Gaia, to Mother, Father, God, whatever, whomever. And by definition, that means that now I'm above being, affected as a human. And that's just not true at all. The idea is it's impossible to not feel waves of energy that are negative, that cross our borders or boundaries, that disappoint us, that, we are human. But it's how much and how long we allow for that to happen. And the more and the deeper the cut or the sting, the wound, the pain, the more that we, are getting a good look at something that needs to be adjusted, that maybe was way below the surface, or you didn't want to face, you were hoping wasn't the case, or whatever. Or you're just completely in denial and oblivious to. All of the above are true. But the thing is that we are definitely going to be affected. It's impossible not to be affected. It's, again, how much of it, how things absorb, how things process, how low you get, what you think about, there's a battle going on collectively and for each and every single one of us. The dark side wants you to be in conflict, emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically, spiritually, abundantly. The dark side wants you to be in conflict. The dark side wants you to be angry. Mars is here to tell us, if you want war, there's war within you and within the world itself. How much war does there need to be to show people that there's a great healing that needs to take place? Because war is only necessary when the war within ourselves or the war between countries. There's boundaries that were crossed. There's promises that weren't kept. There's, There's infringement upon and disrespect. There's suffering. There's all of that stuff is in play when we're at war. And if you could see the water right now, let me show you here. Look at how it's all going in, like, in different directions. It doesn't usually do this the way that it's doing it. If you've been watching my videos, you might and literally looking at the river, especially when I point it out, it's not even doing its normal swirls the way that it does, because it's all like going back and forth on top of itself. We have all these areas where it's rippling. It's eventually moving forward, but do you see how slow it's moving forward? Because it's backing up on itself. That's basically the energy here. But again, we're reminded with all of this conflict begets clarity and healing eventually. The wounds are really brought to light when we're in conflict in some way, when there's dissonance, when there's chaos and disruption on the different levels that we can feel it and experience it. That is what we need to understand. We have a lot of control over this, and it's also the way to healing. We can control how much pain we're in, and for how long. And the way that we process that takes us to this next new card. Here we are. If I can get that. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So let's go there. Oh, I'm looking for the wrong thing. This is the first card in the deck on page 30. I don't know that I've ever actually pulled this card before in this deck. I'm not sure that I have. I don't think I've ever pulled actually either of these cards before. I'm getting an affirmative on that. And I've had this deck for quite a while at this point. Okay. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Oh, and I've got rainbows on the page for my sun catchers. Okay, don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. It is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder it's a reminder to have faith. You choose to be here. You chose to be here to be part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you. There we go with the dreams again. And the dreamers. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working towards for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you keep holding the vision? I would change that to how will you? How will you? What a perfect time for the sun to come out. How will you keep holding the vision, dear, beautiful, divine incarnate? How will you keep holding the vision? What will you do to keep having the faith that you've had already? That each synchronicity, each amazing, magical experience, each repetitive message and angel number and all the things, the more and more magic that you're seeing in the world take shape and take form, regardless of what many would say. These are extraordinary times when the shift of consciousness is taking place, and we must keep the faith. We must have faith. We must really get into what we're grateful for. And I'm being reminded about what came through several days ago. I believe it was on the... I don't know. I could go back. That's easy to go back. When the whole gratitude journal came into play, and we talked about how becoming more magical came through gratitude. And I did do a gratitude list that night, but I haven't since, and I just did it in my phone. And then I did come across in my unpacking to this beautiful journal that was given to me. Let me show you. I believe it's from either Thailand or Indonesia. Handmade, of course. Isn't it beautiful? And I've had it for at least 4 or 5 years now. I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely beautiful. And I've never used it. And this is going to be my gratitude journal. And so we're here to remind you, if you have not gotten one yet, get your gratitude journal. And that is a great way to get into your magic, get more magical, get more into your faith and be more faithful. It really does a lot. And that's why it's such a big popular thing. Gratitude and abundance go hand in hand, because in the middle we have magic unleashed, and we can see through more and more through the eyes of our divine beingness, our divinity, our souls, and feel Mother, Father God in all things, and see all things as beautiful creations of our Mother, Father God, including ourselves, and how much freedom we have to shift our timelines, our destinies, our futures by being the dreamers that card talked about. And I always point out when the word dream or dreaming or dreamers or anything to do with dreams comes up, and it is quite a lot, and it is for a reason. It's because it's to remind us that if we get into the mind of a dreamer, like we're actually dreaming, then we can control our environment and our timelines and what's happening. It's lucid living. not just lucid dreaming. So this is to remind us to stay faithful, no matter if we have these things like the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict. What is the final message there is about love and faith. And here we have a new earth reminding us this is how we get there. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. And if you've been working on something or waiting for a pop in the motivation, the inspiration, the energy to move forward in a certain way, the time for it to feel right. Like maybe you felt like, okay, there's this thing, I'm going to do this thing, or this thing's going to happen, or whatever, I'm going to make this decision. Or I've been working towards something like this. The card says, like, you've been taking steps, consistent steps. They maybe look different, but most dances have multiple steps, is what I'm hearing. Most dances have multiple steps. You don't just do the same step. You do multiple steps, and there is a repetition. There is a rhythm to it. And eventually, the song changes and the dance changes and things progress. This is what I'm seeing. This is the vision that I'm getting. And then we graduate to a bit of a more complex, robust, abundant, passionate dance, possibly. That's where we are now in our development. That's what I'm hearing. Like there's been a lot of work to get you where you are now. But truly, the fun is just barely beginning, because now things are turning over in a way that you can start experiencing yourself and life differently, more consciously, more clearly, more aligned, more in alignment with yourself and your soul, meaning that you're putting forth more effort, energy, time, possibly money, forward for yourself in various ways to support your development and your rebirth, your evolution, and your healing. That is how we get to a new earth. It's by having faith and being in action, that and knowing, look at, how can I not be in faith? Look at what I've done, and look at where it got me now, here, with all that's happened and all that's shifted and all that's changed and all that's come together and converged and connected in the most beautiful, magical ways. How can I not be in a place of faith? How can I not be? That's impossible to not be. So of course, as I move forward, I just need to remember all of these things, to release the lower frequencies and densities, and remind myself that there are forces that want me upset and repressed and in conflict, and not to play and dance by their song and dance by the one that is right for me. And that's in a place of love and faith and light and unity, and all of that for myself and for others as well. And while we have to still protect ourselves, still have boundaries, still not allow the dark side to, not go so far over into being a doormat for whatever wants to come our way, or, because now we have no boundaries to cross. It doesn't say that either. It's not about that either. There's a balance there. There's a balance between having a fucking fit because people are doing things that are really fucked up and selfish and unfair, or you can see that for what it is, take a few deep breaths, and choose to handle things a certain way that doesn't add to the negativity, but diffuses it and shifts it in a way where you're still protected. You're not allowing yourself to continue to be, crossed upon in whatever way. But at the same time, You're being very, very strategic about how you're handling your shit internally and externally. Remember, Mars energy, anger, conflict. That's what happens. You get angry and then we have conflict. So instead, soften to love. Choose another way to be and react and respond when things are going a certain way, and you'll get yourself past that, and you'll get back into a state of love and faith and be in alignment with that new earth energy that we need to be in, especially now when there are things that are happening on a larger scale with the spiritual war and the world and all sorts of shit going on as we transition. And yeah, Trump definitely has things to do with that. How could he not? He is a big character in this play, and both the dark and the light like to reflect off of him and have him be at the center of opportunities for a lot of drama and BS and bullshit and darkness. But the light has definitely prevailed even in that scenario. The dark side did not end up winning that one. And so they do grow desperate, and there are things that have to do with him and will continue to. And it's really important for the rest of us to take a step back and see and look at, what's best for the whole and how we're going to resonate with everything that transpires depending on your level of consciousness with things. Okay, and with that said, I am guided to end this here. Thanks for watching if you have, and I hope you've enjoyed the shifting of the sky as we've been here. This has been one of those that started off mostly with the gloom. There is that haze that really never goes away that we're in, but it's still, the sun is coming through, which is marvelous. And I hope that the sun is coming through for you wherever you're at. And if it's not, please take in the rays of this sun here on this water and the beautiful energies, despite it being going in weird ways today, feeling the energies. Even the river is doing odd things today. That the light codes and everything that you're feeling here, that you're seeing here, whoops, with the sun on the river. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Take that in for a couple minutes. Enjoy that. And I wish you a wonderful week, wonderful rest of your weekend and week. Again, I hope you can get as much sun as possible. And this should be a really good week for really feeling the surges of energies push you forward further into the new paradigm, where you're feeling more invigorated than ever to align with yourself in all ways. And as always, I'm here to assist. Please check out my website. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Reach out if you have any questions. And until next time, this is Infiniti, sending infinite love and blessings to you. Until next time. Bye for now.